When I first was diagnosed with cancer, I had written in my journal that I wanted to write a book and speak about my story. So that was 2014. That you can't journal away and you forget about things. Probably all do that. And as I was acknowledging that I was going to spend 7 weeks away from my house, my home for radiation, and be on leave from work for the first time, right? I had never taken disability or leave in any other portion of my journey. I started going, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" I'm not used to time on my hands, and so reminded me of, "Okay, Diana, you've wanted to speak, so you're a member of Maxwell Leadership. You've had access for years to submit speaking videos and be critiqued, so why not now? In the middle of radiation, why not now? You've wanted to write a book, like, why not now?" And so that was pretty impactful to me. I did a lot of things in that 7-week time frame that I had been procrastinating, and the reality of, "You've got time, Diana. Go do it now." And it's sparking all kinds of fun stories, but I'm gonna stay focused on the answer on the question. The book title was sparked somewhat from my efforts on working on submitting videos for critiquing with Roddy at Maxwell Leadership. We had to get our story into 3 minutes and make it impactful 3 minutes, which it's hard to condense into 3 minutes. But what we got to was that I gave a short example of my story, but how our adversities or my adversity has uniquely qualified me to add value to people. The moment I could shift from poor me to, "Okay, God, why am I in these walls? Who can I help?" It had given me a unique opportunity to add value to people. So thus the title, Uniquely Imperfect, Uniquely Qualified, because you'll look at me and it's obvious I've got some imperfections, but it has helped me. I have had multiple opportunities to talk to people where random strangers or people that I know or my doctors in Miami will call me and say, "Diana, I've got a patient in my office today. They don't have the same cancer you do, but they need to undergo the same procedure. They would love to talk to somebody that gets it. Would you talk to them?" And that has been really impactful to me because I what I look like. And so those are just unique ways that I can help that nobody else can really help that person. There's not that many people that can answer those questions. Or it's just different people that are struggling with how they look or an imperfection or I have a disability. How do you navigate through it? I honestly forget multiple days that I look like this. My kids will be like, "Mom, they're staring at you." I'm like, "I know, why?" And they're like, "Mom." It's just who I am and I just move.
Mm,
But the book is set up in that different chapters leading up to the power of like mindset and faith of how that has helped me on my journey. So my
mm,
grandmother, team sports, my injury in college, and each chapter closes with reflection and application because I don't want it to just be a story about me. I'm boring. I want it to spark some reflection and application. We all can relate to a part of a story about a grandmother or a coach, right? So what do you need to
mm.
do, right, to thank them? Or where are you missing your opportunity to show up for somebody? So that's the approach of the book. I wanted to be transparent, and multiple people have no idea what a proton radiation machine looks like or what it looks like when you wake up from surgery and you've got all things hooked out of you. I have pictures in there that because my goal was to help people understand what it's like to be walking in the shoes because there's thousands of people every year that are going to be diagnosed with some type of cancer. So at some point in our lives, we're going to experience it personally or we're going to know somebody that does. And so I just wanted to be as open as possible about what it's like.
So, Diana, is it was it written primarily to encourage and challenge people that are facing cancer, or did you have a broader audience in mind when you first wrote it? Because I know you have a broader audience,
Right.
but when you first wrote it was that where you were? People facing cancer alone, uncertain? What was the deal?
I smile at that one because when I did a a weekend book writing group to kick off my writing process, and then we would meet monthly to make sure we were on track. And one of the book sharks challenged me to make the book just targeted towards cancer patients. And I said, "I get that, but I feel like it applies to everybody because we all have an adversity. It may not be cancer as
Mm,
adversity, but we all struggle with something. It could be a disability, it could be anger, it could be greed. We all have something." And so that's what I my approach was, it's for everybody. And I greatly it's nice when people read the book and then, "Jen, I picked it up to read it because I know you, and I thought this isn't gonna apply to me because it's about cancer," but it did, Diana, it did.
and the reason I ask that is because I think about our audience. A lot of our audience, I'm sure that there are those who have had cancer. I know one in particular, a close friend of mine in the business mission world, who is facing a very serious battle with cancer right now. I'm sure he would find encouragement from it as a believer. But adversity is the broader banner here, right? Cancer is a form, a very scary form of this of adversity, but as you say, it 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 is a universal, right? It's the classic. I hate to quote Buddha, but he was right with this. He said, "Go find me a pair of shoes from a house that's had no pain and bring them back to me." And of course, the moral of the story is there's no such place. And so pain is a universal. It's a part of a fallen world. It's a part of life. And businesses, mission practitioners, you might be surprised to know this, they struggle as much as anybody else. In some ways, they struggle more because they're in a foreign culture and there aren't a lot of support mechanisms around. All of that to say, I think you've got a very powerful message to our audience of people that may not have the same exact struggle you had, but they're having adversity too. They're having a struggle too. And the lessons you learned really, I would think, would be incredibly applicable in almost any setting. You're nodding your head. So I know you, I see you either agree with me or you're waiting for a chance to say, no, that's not right. I know.